to join our Byte-Size blended learning workshop today. We supposed to begin our session with a speech from the Dean, but Dean has another meeting at the moment, so he will join us later. To give few words later on, yeah? So this morning we will start our session with Dr. Haslina to talk about how to use this Turnitin checking students' work and paraphrasing their so-called their writing, followed by the gamification talk by Dr. Adibah. So without much further ado, I would like to invite Dr. Haslina, who is so famous using this Turnitin, the expert in the faculty, to share with us how to fully utilize this so-called the tool in checking students' writing. Haslina, please.
Okay, so good morning, Dr. Goy and everyone. Thank you so much for making time to attend this very brief talk today. So my talk will be on Turnitin, and I would like to frame Turnitin as a tool to promote integrity in academic writing. So this, in today's session, I will share with you like how I actually use Turnitin to make how can I say, to evaluate students' work, and at the same time, my students are also being, benefited from using Turnitin as part of the submission tools now. So that's why, hence the title of today's presentation. Okay, so, right. Okay, so what is Turnitin? Turnitin is actually internet-based application to detect plagiarism by comparing a submitted work with resources around the world. So the good thing about Turnitin is that when the students submit their work using the Turnitin link, the software, the application, will check the content of the student work against all available references that is there online around the world. So we are talking about, article journal, website, blogspot, Wikipedia, even submitted student work from other universities. So for the other things that I've mentioned earlier, sometimes you can easily access to these resources. But for the students' work around the world, there is another step that you have to go through if you really need to see that paper lah. So you have to send like an email to the institution to ask for the paper, and normally you will get the paper within in less than a week. In my experience, it was about 3-4 days like that. Okay, but most of the time I don't go and check the student get this paper, because I believe Turnitin will be quite sufficient for me to check the integrity of the students' work lah. And this is I know that some colleagues, they don't really believe in Turnitin. They don't rely, sorry, I shouldn't be using the word believe, but they don't really rely on Turnitin because there are some limitations juga lah on Turnitin that I've actually encountered so far. But we can talk about this later. Okay, so this particular colleague, they said she will turn it in the paper in her head, right? Which is to me is something is very remarkable. And Turnitin solutions promote academic integrity, it streamline grading and feedback, deter plagiarism and improve student outcome. For Megan, there are three functions. So here there are three functions of Turnitin. One is to detect plagiarism. These are the tools, okay? Detect plagiarism and also streamline grading and also feedback, because Turnitin also has a feature that allows you to mark student work there on that submitted work, and so that the student will be able to see exactly where does the thing goes wrong. But for me, again, I don't use streamline grading and also feedback, because you have to sit in front of the computer and then you have to, imagine doing editing and commenting on Microsoft Word. Okay, Microsoft document, you have to put in the comment and then you click. So that is the thing, because to me it is very time, for me it is, I don't really prefer to sit in front of the computer lah. So what I do is, normally I will download the document and then I will grade it manually, okay, and then give it back to the students. And the process, okay, for example, to deter plagiarism, will also improve student outcome, and I will share with you how I do this. Oh, so this is the plagiarism spectrum that I just got from Turnitin website, and it actually talks about the different kind of plagiarism that may be carried out lah, you know, in academia. So it's actually, the list is actually quite, the spectrum is actually quite extensive, but but I think the one that we normally look at is actually self-plagiarism. Students or maybe researchers, they are not aware that they actually self-plagiarize their own work. Word-for-word plagiarism is also a very, very common occurrence. It's a very common occurrence. Paraphrasing plagiarism is also very regular, because I do come across students who think that after you know, they copy and paste the sentence, not as the direct quotation, but they put the source of the, you know, the source of the material, and they think that it is that is not plagiarism. Okay, so most often oftentimes they think that they don't need to paraphrase. So this is when we have to inform the students lah, you have to paraphrase lah. You know, you copy and paste and then you give credit, it doesn't mean that, you know, you're doing the right thing. So we have to remind them all the time, and I still get this even when the students are already in the 3rd year. Okay, and then source-based plagiarism is also very always occur. Okay, where the students do not give you accurate or complete information about the sources, such as where to that they cannot be found. So in other words, they may cook the list of references lah. So what I normally do, I hope I don't say this often, okay? But normally what I do before I really mark the assignment is that I will cross-check each and every in-text citation with the list of references. If they really they account for each other, then I think the work is good to go lah. You know, because I think that I believe that students who really put an effort in in ensuring that the format and also the format of the references is correct, and then it is accounted for in the in-text citation. To me, I think this work is credible. Okay, that is how I so it's not entirely on Turnitin, but is really depends on how you decide, you know, or you set some informal criteria to tell you that the student's work is legit. But on top of that, you know, the good thing about Turnitin is that even though, you know, sometimes this is very rare, okay, very, very rare. I don't think I've ever come across this. Sometimes everything it may be accounted for, but still, you know, there are elements of plagiarism. So this is when actually Turnitin can help you to to do this extra checking lah. Okay, contract cheating, this I don't know whether our students are doing it, but I do find this in the proposals, in some of the proposals lah. I think being submitted by some candidates, where the range of similarities is really over the roof. Okay, it's about 60%, 70%. All right, so this is it is available. This spectrum is actually available on Turnitin website. So maybe it will be beneficial for us to share this with our students so that they know, you know, they know exactly what we are looking for, and then they also should be, you know, made aware about what the things that they should do and what the things they shouldn't be doing lah. Okay, moving on. All right, why and when Turnitin? This is actually my my personal. This is based on my personal experience. For me, I use Turnitin all the time to quickly detect incidences of plagiarism in students' work. For me, academic integrity is very important because this is part of character building. It actually forms a bigger picture because I would like to believe that if the student has very high integrity in the production of their work, there will also be a high, there will be also be a very will be a integrity, is a workforce lah, with a high integrity when they go out in the market nanti. For the students, they could immediately see where and how their scholarly work or their submitted work have a demonstrated integrity issue. And this serves as a red flag to the students, because if the student can see it, what more to say, the educator. Okay, so whatever, so for me, I normally employ transparency lah. Okay, transparency in what I do with the Turnitin, meaning to say what I can see is exactly what the students can see. Okay, but students will only be able to see the remarks for their own assignment. They will not be able to see the remarks for the other students' assignment. Whereas as an educator, of course, you will have access to all this information, to every word, every work that is being submitted by the student. Okay, and then what I do is, so this is what I mean, allow the students to know exactly where they have to fix the paper lah. So number one is you have to allow students to see similarities detected by Turnitin. And then the next step is to allow students to resubmit their work. So I know that allow students to submit their work via Turnitin, meaning to say they have to open the submission link, educators have to open the submission link for a longer period. It could be 2 weeks, it could be 1 month. Okay, so this is the thing. I know that from the comments given by some of my students, some educator will require them to submit the work on Turnitin. They will open the Turnitin for a few days, okay, and then they will require the student to submit the work into Turnitin. But the students will not be able to see the index of similarities, meaning to say they will not be able to see where they have gone wrong. And number two is that there is no chance for them to repair their work. Okay, so what I normally do is that I will allow the submission link for about 2 weeks. It really depends on the time of the assignment, the time that you give your student to complete the assignment. Maybe for a final year project, then you can actually have a longer period of time. You have some assignment is 2 weeks, some assignment is 1 month. So my idea is I will open it as long as the as the time that I give to my students, so that my students will be able to submit, see what they have done wrong, and then fix the paper, fix the essay, and then resubmit, and then see again, if the fixing has actually done has actually improved their have been less detected lah. Kalau the incidence of plagiarism is detected less in the subsequent submissions. So imagine kan, so normally between the first submission and the second submission kan, in our Turnitin, okay, students are allowed to have 3 submissions where Turnitin will immediately generate the result. Normally during the first submission, for the first submission, they can already see the result within half an hour. It's very fast. Okay, for the second submission, it will be the same thing within 15 to 30 minutes. The third submission is also the same thing. But after the third submission, they will take 24 hours to generate the new index of similarity, the new report. So ideally, again, if you open the link for 2 weeks, for example, you can be rest assured that if this student diligently send the assignment every day again for checking, that means the student can send up until 15 assignment, 15 submission, okay, 15 submission of the same assignment of the improved version over and over again until the student feels that, okay, this is good enough, I'm going to submit this for the final submission. So The good thing about letting students see the, what they have done wrong in the Turnitin is that I don't have to tell you, because, we have to admit that we have about 90 students altogether. So you cannot afford to go and tell every student that, this is where you have done wrong. Of course, we also have we also have the social media group where we can tell the students exactly where they have done wrong. But honestly, I cannot keep up with this all the time. So if there are some glaring things that I would like to point out to my student, normally from the 1 or 2 submissions, most of the time it is to do with the list of with the format of referencing lah. So I will tell the student in the group, of course, without revealing the name of the friends who did the mistake. The whole idea is actually to tell them that these are the common mistake and they need to be aware not to repeat this. Okay, so but the rest of the thing like, exactly how plagiarizing has happened, and then where about is the problem, the students will be able to fix that part lah. And when to use Turnitin? Okay, for me, I use it all the time. Especially definitely for essay assignment. I don't use it for poster, because a poster tak banyak, there's not much of a wording in a poster. But I use this during the online exam. It's actually, and it helped me very, very much in detecting whether or not the students has been naughty lah in the submission of their work. All right. So, and then another personal reason why I'm using Turnitin is that because I'm actually very bad in other tools. I think I'm a very old school kind of teacher kan. And then when it comes to eLEAP pun, the range of things that I can normally use is forum, quizzes, assignment submission, okay, and Turnitin. It's only 4 things that I normally use in my in my courses. And alhamdulillah, so far, everything has been blended lah. So Dr. Adibah will be telling you how to use Kahoot later on. So I'm very bad at this. The flipped classroom, I don't know how to use it. A lot of things, I don't know. So, I'm very old school lah in maintaining limited. My knowledge is only limited to a few things on on eLEAP. Okay, there are new features in there, but I don't know, maybe the edge factor that tells me no, you don't venture into those things, you just stick to the things that you know. Okay, so far the formula has proven working, so let's keep to it, right? Quizzes, so I use quiz, forum, Turnitin. Okay, 3 benda ni saja, right? So no wonder lah memang tak akan dapat award kan untuk eLEAP ke apa semua tu, but yeah, doesn't matter. Okay, moving on. All right, so how to use Turnitin? Easy, it's already on eLEAP. All right, so it's already on eLEAP. I will show you how step by step lah to set up the eLEAP the Turnitin punya link nanti. Okay, moving on. I'll show you the outcome of Turnitin. So this is right. So this is the work that has been submitted by my student last semester. So immediately you can see from the this is immediately you can see that the students' work is within the acceptable range. Okay. People normally ask me, what is the acceptable range for Turnitin? I know generally the acceptance is 30%. If it is still under 30%, it is acceptable lah. But for me, I would put it to 15%. So for my second year and the third year student, it's always 15%, because my experience of allowing 30% is already making my blood go upstairs. Because even though it is acceptable at 30% but if you open the document, you see all these markings, semua tu is really, trigger some of the things in your apa ni, adrenaline semua tu lah. Okay, so this one is acceptable. Okay, 14, 9, 12 maksudnya apa ni, the range of similarities is similar. When I say the index of similarities kan maksudnya kesamaan konten yang dihantar oleh pelajar kepada konten yang dibandingkan secara di dalam talian on the internet. Okay, this one is okay. This one is okay. Alright, so you can see that I have about 11 pages altogether. So here in this course, I have 101 students. Okay, I have 101 students. So using Turnitin, I could say exactly lah. It can tell me the red flag already. Okay, the next one. Right, what do you see? Dr. Goy, can you tell me from this index of from this slide that you're seeing, kan, where do you think is the problematic ones?
Problematic similarity. Can you please enlarge a little bit of your slide?
Dr. Goy, which one do you think is a red flag here?
So now the more the higher the similarity, then it shows it's a more problematic, right?
Yes.
So the 78% there.
Yeah, 78%. So meaning to say, like, you know, almost almost all the apa ni ada copy paste element lah in this assignment. So it goes by the number. So the higher the number, then there is the bigger the red flag lah, huh? So 29%, although it is still within acceptable range kan kalau ikut standard Turnitin punya color, but to me 29 is already very high. 18, although I said 15% kan, but normally I would still terima 18 lah, you know, depending, because there are some other things that you need to look at as well. Okay, so
but just a second, Haslina, when you see the similarity, does it include the references?
So this one in the Turnitin, you have to exclude references.
Oh, okay.
In the setting nanti you have to exclude references. Okay. Right. Okay. Moving on. Okay. So this is the apa ni? I hope you can see the next slide now. So this is actually the apa ni, the highlights lah that is being done by Turnitin for the similarity things. You see, this is the one from the 78% lah, huh? From the 78%, and this one is only one paragraph. Okay, one paragraph is already like, you know, 60% is being highlighted already. So if you look at this number again, this number will tell you exactly which paper yang the copy and paste element comes from lah. Okay, and you have so altogether there are 26 papers that is being detected by Turnitin that have elements of similarity to the work that is being submitted for this paper. Okay, so yeah, so if you click on the number again, so there akan Turnitin will tell you exactly where the source come from. So it's actually it actually helps to make your life easier lah, by quickly looking. You can actually see exactly where the problem is. Okay. Okay. This is what I'm saying. Go, you were actually asking about the sumber, about the list of references, kan? Yeah. So this actually happened, you know, for one of the student, and the range of similarities is 24%. Okay, so what happened is that I've actually excluded, in the setting, I've already excluded the list of references, but it is still being detected in Turnitin. So I only found out this semester that if we put any word kan, apart from rujukan, apart from references kan, in this, Turnitin will not detect it as a list of references. So I always remind my students, kan, do not be creative with the naming of the references lah. You just put rujukan or you just put references. Don't put in sumber, don't put in list of references or apa ni, benda-benda macam tu. Okay, so yeah, this is what happened lah. So always tell the student to use references or rujukan. Jangan terlalu kreatif lah when it comes to this, because this is going to backfire. So that's why as an educator, we also have to be cautious all the time and really buka and tengok, you know, the range of similarity yang macam questionable tu kan, you have to open and then you have to look at it and to see where the problem is lah. And in this, for this student, although the range of similarity is 24, but I know that a lot of it actually come from the list of references kan. So yang ni, I would, no penal, this student is not being penalized, all right? But I have to inform the students, you know, all my students that you have to keep to references or you keep to rujukan. All right. So I will talk about I will give you a demonstration lah about how to set up this Turnitin link. Okay. But before that, any questions?
Haslina, can you please go
Yes.
back to one of the slides? You try to show the examples of these, the detect by these here. Why it shows with the different colors? What does it mean? The
Different
light
color means
gray
different
and the
articles.
red. Yeah.
Different
Oh.
color means different article, different
Okay.
sources.
Okay. All right.
It will list down each and every source lah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me show you. Share content. I hope this one, do Feedback Studio. Okay, hang on. I really sekejap. Actually dah buka satu slide ni. Hang on. Okay, let me share with you this one. Share. I think Google Chrome. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the student lah with a 24% similarity. Okay, so if you scroll all the way down, kan? All the way down. Oops, sorry. So we have to download. Okay, you have to download current view. Submission information. Let me see. Okay, right. So Goy, can you see the one panel on the right that shows all the sources?
Yes.
Yeah. So this one kan is actually, I don't know if I can enlarge this or not, but it actually tells you exactly what percent lah the similarity coming from. But this one is this one is from an article tendered online. I'm not sure whether we can get this or not. Yeah, but this one, yes. Okay, this one is actually the references lah, so this is a problem. And a lot of it is actually using students punya work. Okay. Right, but I think it's actually coming from, if we click on it, yeah, it will detect the references as well. So this is what I'm talking about. Because if you want to open this paper, you will not be able to do so because the Turnitin actually protects the intellectual property of the original author, instructor, and also the institution. So we have to write into the institution to ask for the paper to be released to us. Okay, so this one is so it's actually coming from a lot of sources lah.
Haslina, meaning to say sometimes our students, they do not refer to the original paper, right? But they refer to the cited work from another authors, right? Because they cannot access to it.
I think they can, but we cannot.
Oh.
I don't know how they access to it, but I'm actually looking at a surface. I'm assuming that the students are able to access to this paper, but we cannot. Maybe they've already been given permission. I'm not sure. Okay, but I didn't go so deep into it lah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so this is the thing lah with Turnitin. So you can actually look at apa ni, banyak benda that you can actually look at. All right. So this is Celine. And let us look at the first paper. Do you see my screen right now?
Yes.
Showing the different range of similarities. Okay. So here are the things lah. So the drawback with Turnitin kan is that you cannot download them sekaligus. You have to download them one by one. Okay. So normally what I do is, okay, like this, I will click on this. I will to look at the range of similarities. Okay, I have 15 minutes left. Sorry, little bit apa ni, little bit slow. This there must be some birds or things, you know, that is on the tower next to my house. Okay, so yes, it is open. Right, so this is the assignment lah. Okay, the assignment. See, di sini pun you can already detect. Okay, there is a range of yeah, again, you know, students essay, right? So okay. Okay, if you see this, right, this is actually the, you know, the tools for you to give the feedback lah. Okay, so imagine you have to, if you think that you want to give feedback kan, so you can comment or you can apa ni, include the comments. But to be honest with you, I only use this once with one paper on the first page because it's just very time consuming to me lah. That's what I think. Okay, but you have all the time in the world, I think, and you're disciplined enough. I think you'll be able to cover all paper. Then the student will be able to see where exactly they did wrong in that paper. For me, not yet lah. Okay. Yeah, so this is what they do lah. Aduh, yang ni pun banyak ni. Okay, so here, if you look at this, again, you know, a student paper. Okay. All right. So I think we know how it works, huh? So can I? Then I will go to the demonstration, like how to set up the Turnitin. Okay, boleh ya? Okay. So I'll be using. Let me see if I can still use this this paper that I have from last semester. Okay, so I can turn editing on. Okay. So this is everyone, can you see my slide? Goy?
Yes. Yes.
Boleh, ya?
Yeah, eLEAP
So
page.
what you do is you add an activity or resource. Lepas tu, because I've been using Turnitin all the time kan, so you add Turnitin assignment. Right. So you have okay. So I don't really put this here, or maybe you can just say that due date of submission is something, and then you put the description. But normally I don't lah, okay? But I think I want to be a little bit fancy today. So I learned this from Goy actually. Otherwise, I never know how to display description on a course place. Okay, your submission type, you just put there, I would prefer file upload. Okay, for upload, meaning to say they can upload PDF or they can upload Microsoft Words. Number of parts, you can decide how many parts, but normally I would just keep one part. So based the number of part ni kan, is that in one submission kan, in one submission link there will, if you put there 3 parts, meaning to say dia akan ada, the student will be able to submit dua dokumen lah, okay, pada masa yang sama tetapi pada part yang berbeza. So meaning to say they can have like 2 submission. But for me, I prefer to put it as one because last time I wanted to facilitate the student by giving them, you know, more parts to submit kan. But it ended up they keep on submitting the same thing for all the parts. Okay, so it really it drives me apa ni yeah, so no, just stick to one part. Okay, do not go for 2 or 3 parts. Buat satu bahagian saja. Okay, it will actually ease confusion among the students, and also it will make your life easier lah. Okay, so I always go for one part. After that experience, I never go for 2, 3 parts anymore. I just go for one part. Maximum is very big. Okay, so I normally put there. I don't change this, right? Allow submission, yes. Display, this one is very important. Display similarity reports to student, yes. Some educator will put there as no, but I always put yes. Grade display, I don't change this. Automatically refresh, I also don't change this as well. Okay, so this one is very important. Display the similarities to student. Okay, so you have here part 1. So you put the due date lah. Okay, the due date of the submission, the duration. Here 30th March until tarikh akhirnya adalah 26 April, and the post date has to be later. Has to be similar or later to the due date. It cannot be before. Okay, but most of the time, Turnitin will alert you if you posted something wrong with the post date. Okay, I also don't know what is the function of the post date. Maybe it is related to the student grade mark function. You know, the students will not be able to see the grading until the post date though. I think that should be the function lah. But for me, if I maintain the traditional way, kan, if I only use Turnitin to detect index similarities or plagiarism in the work, this one does not really matter to me. But we still have to put the date, which is always have to be later than the post date. Okay, now very important, similarity report option. Allow submissions after the due date. Okay, I will normally put yes. All right, because for example, especially now, like where the students are online learning and then they are not able to have access to good internet, some of them will terlepas the due date. So if you put no, you'll be receiving calls and messages from students saying that I cannot do this, this and this because I passed the due date. So I will just put yes. It will not, Turnitin will tell you that if you put yes, kan, Turnitin will tell you how many hours past the due date, how many days past the due date. So you will still get that information, even though you put that as a yes. So late submission will be not treated as a submission on the as a timely submission, because Turnitin has a function to tell you siapa yang lambat dan siapa yang cepat lah. Okay, so this one, I normally go for this, you know, generate. Okay, there are a few options, 3 options here. Generate report immediately. Students cannot resubmit. Okay, the students, remember we put the student can see yes, can for the index of similarity. But here you will make them very helpless. They can only see, oh my God, I've done something wrong. I cannot do anything anymore. You know, this kind of thing. So you will cause despair to the students. I don't do this. Okay, second one is generate reports immediately. Student can resubmit until the due date, meaning to say, this is the one that I say lah, they can resubmit. If you bagi 30 hari kan, they can technically resubmit 30 kali assignment. After 3 submission, only after 3 submission, report generate after 24 hours. Ini maksud dia. The first 3 submission, they can get it very quickly. But the 4th, 5th, and subsequent submission, they have to wait for 24 hours. Okay, 24 hours to see the report lah. Okay, so I will normally tell my student kan, you submit after you have done halfway, or you have done your your full draft ke, okay, so that they can actually see. Janganlah lepas satu ayat you run to Turnitin, lepas 2 ayat you put to Turnitin, okay. And this one nanti Turnitin pun fed up juga nanti. Okay, so right, and most importantly, after this submission kan, the apa ni, there will be this remark on Turnitin, the student can see, okay, that says that it is pending. So some student they will panic, they will resubmit, and they will resubmit, they will resubmit. Okay, jadi 3 kali resubmission. So if we follow the rule of the 24 hours tu kan, after 3 kali kan, that means mungkin dia akan dapat lepas 36 after 3 days. Maybe lah, okay. But just tell the student, I normally tell my student, if you see it pending, don't panic, because this is the condition of turning in. After 3 resubmission, your subsequent report will come out after 24 hours. And then this one is that generate report on due date, meaning to say the student will not be able to see the index of similarities. Okay, generate the report on due date. Maksudnya, you the due date tu kan, if we go for this option kan, the due date tu dia hanya akan apa ni, keluar, dapat dinampakkan kepada pelajar on the 6th of April. Okay, due date. But the students will have to main teka-teki lah, you know, let's say lah they submitted earlier kan, said, aku rasa mungkin ada salah kot, okay, I can resubmit. Dia boleh resubmit until the student feels better, but he or she will not be able to see the index of similarities until the due date. Meaning to say kan, they will not be able to see the fruit of their labor until the due date. So for this reason, I prefer to go for the second one lah, all the time, every time. Okay. Store student papers, very important. No repository. No repository. Maksud repository di sini adalah every work that is being submitted by the student kan, even the draft, you know, will be stored in Turnitin. Right. So imagine kan, me as a student, if my lecturer kan, dia pergi letak standard repository, the first paper, the first assignment, the first draft yang saya hantar kepada Turnitin, it will go straight into this, you know, database, Turnitin punya database. Alright. So can you imagine what happened if okay, the first submission, I saw, okay, I have to fix this part. Jadi saya baikilah. Lepas tu, the second part, tapi I didn't know that my lecturer put it as standard repository, meaning to say my first submission dah ada in that Turnitin database. So can you imagine for the second submission kan, do I get a lower range of similarity or will I get a higher range of similarity? What do you think?
Higher then.
Yes, higher. 5 years ago, no, sorry. I think maybe 3 years ago, I wanted to put everything as I was exploring with a standard repository. So I put there, you know, that one time, that one semester. So for the second submission, kan, when the students submitted their work, everything turned into 100%. Everything was red. Semuanya merah, semuanya 100%. And the student was like, you know, what happened, you know? So rupanya because of the standard repository lah. So what I have to do after that is that I have to call CAM. Zurina, can you please take out this paper? So CAM will have to do something on their end to remove this paper from the bank or from the database. So never, okay? No repository if the students are still resubmitting their work. But if it is already the final submission, is ready for grading, apa semua tu, then we can tell CAM that, you know, maybe we can tell CAM to take this into the database. Alright, when there is tak ada kerja lain lagi student yang perlu dibuat. Okay, now this is check against student stock paper, yes. Check against the internet, yes. Exclude bibliography, I would normally put yes because I do not want them Turnitin to detect the plagiarism from the list of references. Exclude quoted material, I will put there as no. Because I've come across, in the past, I normally put yes. But after one student bagi 10 page of assignment, 7 pages contain direct quotation. I changed my work view lah. Okay, exclude 30 should not exclude quoted materials. Exclude small matches. I don't change this. Lepas tu grade mark option. Yang ni pun saya tidak tukar. I don't play with this. Restrict access. No, I don't do this. I don't do the rest tu memang I tak buat. Lepas tu we just click send and return to course. Okay. So yeah, here it is. If you can see my slide right now, so this is the link for the similarity index lah, for the Turnitin submission. Yeah, so you can click on this. Setakat ni nobody, tak ada orang lagi yang menghantar because no submission kan, but this is a demonstration. Okay, so if the work starting to pour in kan, then you will see what I've shown you just now lah. Okay, as an educator kan, sometimes you also need to use Turnitin for our paper submission, isn't it? For writing ke apa ke kan? So what you do is, and then sometimes if you have postgraduate students and then your students have no access to Turnitin, maybe they will want you to help them to run the Turnitin check for them. So I will normally advise a postgraduate student kan, to go to their supervisor if they are, if they hit a dead end with Turnitin, because the supervisor can always assist them to check their papers using any of the courses that they have, as long as they have access to eLEAP. So if you want to submit the paper, this is what you do. Okay, so you switch role to student. Okay, so now you become a student. All right. Okay. And as a student, you can submit the paper now. Okay, do you see this? All right, submit paper. Okay. So yeah, so you can submit the paper. This one is for yourself, okay? You don't have to do this. So so submission paper, Haslina, and you can put the file to submit. Okay, choose file. So any of the file lah. Okay, I don't think I have anything in here. All right. Okay, but yeah, but maybe no, because this is a rubric kan. Yeah, maybe just try. All right. So upload this file, add submission. So this is if you want to see how your student can access to it, or how does your link apa ni kan? This one is by Celine Lai. Okay, this is Celine Lai paper. So this submission has been submitted. So your student will get this message, all right? For saying that the submission has gone into Turnitin, and you close this, and then you will see that okay, this is the paper by Haslina, submitted by Haslina, and pending here means that the Turnitin is still processing. All right, it's still processing the index of similarity. So I think we will get this within the next 10 or 15 minutes lah. But if once the result is out, then you will see exactly what I showed you just now. But some student, but after the third resubmission kan, the student may see this pending kan very long, 1 or 2 days. All right, 1 or 2 days. Is either because the Turnitin is still checking, or there could be some error lah. There will be error as well. Because sometimes in some of my cases kan, the students after submission 1 week pun tak ada result yang keluar. And then what after this is after during the subsequent submission. So what you have to do is that you have to delete the submission, and then you have to run it for them lah. But it's very rare occurrences. So it's normally 1 or 2 cases among 100 students that I have to deal with every semester. All right. So this is how apa ni lah. This is how it is.
Do you mind to share how, if there is a high similarity, and how can the student paraphrase their sentences to avoid or to minimize the
Ah.
similarity in the Turnitin. How can we use that tool?
You tell,
Is it-
okay, before I answer that question, Goy, I want to show you how quick it is for Turnitin to produce a result. Okay, this is Celine's paper. Okay, so I think naturally the paper is going to be very high now because it's been, it has been resubmitted, okay,
Correct.
but just to show you how quickly, I think it was less than 5 minutes that this result was generated. Okay, so for my students, the student will be able to see, can you see my screen now?
It's
Do you
an
see my
empty screen.
Oh, sorry. Okay, hang on. Share content. All right. So this one,
Yeah.
okay, you can see this, huh? Okay, so if it is very high similarity, the student will be able to see this. Okay, so they see all these tanda-tanda, the markings, apa semua tu, they already know that they have to do something about this. And I've told them that, if you see something like this, you have to fix this. Otherwise, I'm going to give them 0 for the assignment. So they will see exactly what we see lah. So from there, they should take the initiative to fix the problem.
But is there any way these Turnitin help?
So far, I've never come across this guy. I think it's better that Turnitin doesn't have this feature, lah kan?
I have no clue.
No. So far, no. It is still on the students. That's what I believe. Okay.
Can you hear me, Dr. Haslina?
Yes.
Okay, Stanley here. Yeah. On the quotation, I think it's very interesting through experience throughout the years. Yes, some students just put the quotation mark and they copied 20 pages.
Yes.
At the end of the 20 pages, they put another quotation mark and then they argue that is a quotation. This has happened to me. The other one I think is how do we detect student submitting the thesis of another student from another university. I've experienced this for undergraduate. I think many years ago, the student never come and see me. Suddenly he submitted already, and quite a very good thesis. And then after I read and called her, I said, "Are you reprinting the work of others from another university?" He didn't answer me. He cried. That's the way he cried in front of me.
Yeah, I think Stanley, then I think your method is better than Turnitin lah. Because some of the thesis I have to admit, not everything will be available online. So some students they can get away, when they quote materials that is still very old, and then especially some of the macam buku terbitan is not online. So this is when Turnitin ada dia punya kelemahan lah. So, but if it is for, yeah.
Because my essay we give warning lah. Dalam instruction, plagiarism will be given 0 mark lah. We give warning already, and then of course there's a problem there because there's a possibility that they do it when we cannot detect. Another one I want to ask, maybe you need to answer. It's a good thing about Turnitin. You say it can improve quality. Does it means Turnitin help the author to rewrite and to in the end produce a better quality product? As for me, I don't. I'm old-fashioned. I don't use when I write essays. I don't go to internet because the tendency to copy. So I use my own references that are boxes and boxes of references that bawa dari overseas lah. Of course, that will be 10 years or 20 years out of that lah. But the articles are very good. So that's why I don't refer to internet when I write. There's very high tendency to copy lah. Because it's very. But I think I want to ask you, can it help to improve the quality of writing? It looks like it can.
I think I think it's the same question given by Goy. I still believe that as far as I know, Turnitin will not tell the students how to write better lah. But Turnitin will point to the students like, hey, this is where the problem with your essay is by all the markings that we see on the screen kan. So it is still on the onus of the student to do the fixing. As long as they have to make sure that it is not copy and paste. Yeah, I mean to tell the students, you know, not to copy and paste lah. But to tell them to write better kan, I don't think so because it still requires a lot of training.
So it doesn't have to improve the sentences.
I think if in my own experience pun, I don't use Turnitin to improve my sentences. I think that one Microsoft Word ataupun other tools like Grammarly will be able to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tak ada that function lah, Stanley.
Dr. Haslina, okay.
Yes.
Stanley, do you have any more question?
Cukup sudah, cukup.
Okay,
Thank
let's
you,
look at
Stanley.
the
Very good
situation
questions.
here.
Yeah.
Now, when these Turnitin detect the similarity, is it because the student like copy and paste directly? For example, here, estimate shows that network, greenhouse, emission, blah, blah, blah. All right, the source to that. So if they reverse it, estimate shows that 8 million metric tons of CO2 equivalent first, they put a number first, and then contributed by the industry. Would it become like part of the similarity then?
That is a good question because I don't know how does the algorithm of the Turnitin works kan. But most of the time when I see it, dia akan tengok the sequencing lah, the sequencing of the information, and that is when it will be detected by Turnitin. Yeah, but I think if you change the positioning of the numbers semua tu, I think but the rest tu kan, the structure of the sentence tu masih lebih kurang sama. It's still, I think it will still be detected. Just to share with everyone lah, I'm sorry, maybe I have to go at 10 o'clock, huh? Just to share with everyone, there was one time that I come across a paper, okay, by a student that I know is quite problematic in class. And this is a very good paper with a lot of this, citation. It seems that a lot of work has been poured into this work lah. And this one is through Turnitin, and Turnitin detected zero similarity. Okay,
Wow.
Turnitin detected zero similarity. Okay, so what I did was I went to the list of references, and this paper was submitted in 2000, about 2 years ago, 2018 lah, 2017, 2018 macam tu. So I went to the list of references and then I look at the list of references one by one because the internet resources tu kan, dia akan bagi tahu dilayari pada tarikh bila kan, access on certain date, isn't it? That is the format of the APA. Betul? So in that paper that was submitted to me in 2017, the list of references tu, one of it dilayari pada tahun 2015. Okay, dilayari pada tahun 2015. So I took that references and I put it on Google search. Pap, the paper terus keluar. So how can a student submitted a work in 2017 kan refer to a material in 2015, right? So that means there's something wrong there. So just using that references to kan, so I got it, I caught him using Google lah. But the question is, how come the paper was available online, but how come Turnitin did not detect it? Okay, so this is what I think happened. He might have downloaded the paper in PDF, lepas tu he changed the wording kan daripada convert the paper from PDF to Word. So when that happened, all the sequencing tu kan, I don't know lah the algorithm, this is what I think. The sequencing in the paper tu kan is actually being disrupted. So it becomes every word stands on its own, and they don't form a sentence. So I think that was when Turnitin couldn't detect the problem. Yeah. So you have to do extra work lah when you do this.
Another thing that Haslina, then for example, they copied everything, and then suddenly they try to make a grammatical error here and there. Then can the Turnitin detect it? Like sentences terputus, and then change a bit, omitted one or two words, and then there is a grammatical error, but the whole sentence basically is copying.
Boleh. Turnitin will still be able to detect it. In my own experience, Turnitin is powerful enough to do this. Yeah. Even though dia tukar sedikit-sedikit kan, but if the sentence structure is still there, it will still be able to be detected lah.
So in other words, to overcome this kind of problem, student probably they can copy, into, let's say, the mentally or this keyboard, and then let the system, to help them to change the structure.
Then that is, I think that I don't know how Turnitin will fix this, but students become more creative. We become creative. Academics or students becoming more creative over time kan. So I think it is the challenge of the developer to keep up with this kind of thing, so that they'll be able to be more comprehensive lah. Yeah, I think that is all I can say for now lah. Yeah, maybe they already have it, but I'm not very sure about this, because my knowledge with Turnitin is actually limited to what I'm using with my students.
Okay. Now, we have some students who joined us this morning for this Byte-Size learning workshop. Yeah. So, students, do you have any questions for Dr. Haslina?
Maybe we can take only one question, because I have something on at 10 o'clock actually. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please grab the opportunity.
Yeah.
If you have any question, please ask.
But academic student, if you have you want to tanya more on Turnitin kan, or help to set up with Turnitin kan, I'm more than happy to help lah. Okay. But I hope my sharing today will actually show, I can say the power, to the extent to which Turnitin is actually quite powerful to help, promote quality writing in scholarly work. Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Okay,
Now, if we don't have any questions from participants, all right, thank you so much, Dr. Haslina, for your very insightful kind of the presentation. And I think a lot of us will benefit from this sharing. Right? Now,
in fact, there was one student that was actually asking if the tools from the one bought from Shopee is legit kan. I have no answer to that question. So yeah, I'm not very sure about this, but maybe you can read the review lah. Okay, but then again, it's about intellectual properties, right kan? So purchasing it on Shopee is already some kind of I think breach of, I don't know. Yeah, it's about stealing property rights. I'm not sure. Okay, I could be wrong, but yeah. Okay, all right. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Haslina. So now the next person to give the talk today is Dr. Adibah. And Dr. Adibah is going to talk about gamification, because we know very well that we conduct lessons online now, how to attract, to retain the attentions of students and to make our lesson become more interesting. So I guess gamification is one of the ways forward. Okay, Dr. Adibah, please.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Goy. Are you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and very good morning, everyone. So before I start, I want to share my screen first. Okay, I would like to thank you to Dr. Goy switching our FSSH eLEAP coordinator for inviting me to FSSH Byte-Size Blended Learning Workshop. And also thank you to our Dean, Dr. Haslina, as our first speaker, and everyone who attend our blended workshop today. So I think so let's get started. So for this workshop, all right, okay. Here are all topics that I will touch on and share with all of you. This is 4 topics, the important topics I think I want to share with you. The first one is eLEAP itself, all right, because this is a blended learning workshop. So I think it is important for me to refresh our eLEAP, all right, our eLEAP page. And then the second one, I want to brief about yeah, exactly. This is about a new eLEAP itself. Okay, just refresh myself and all of you. And yeah, maybe I think who knows if anyone has forgotten about what is eLEAP, what is blended criteria. And maybe the second thing is about a short explanations about a blended criteria and all requirement for blended status. Then about how to simple achieve your blended status. Okay, how to embed your external tools to eLEAP. That is the third thing I want to share today. Okay, how to embed your Padlet, how to embed your YouTube. Okay, how to embed your external tools to your eLEAP page. And then the last one, I want to show how to make gamifications in your teaching and learning classrooms. So today I want to share about your how to make crossword puzzle within 5 minutes. Okay, within 5 minutes. All right. So the first part is about eLEAP. All right. Okay. I want to share my eLEAP page first. All right. Okay, this is my eLEAP page from previous semester. All right. Okay, so as everyone knows, they started from semester 2, 2020 and 2021. We use the new eLEAP platform, or more appropriate, we call the new phase of eLEAP platform. All right. So this is our new eLEAP. Okay, started from, if I'm not mistaken, 8th of March 2021 with the new version of 3.9 version. Okay, compared to the old version is only version 3.2. All right. So for this new eLEAP, all right, if you can see here at the top of the eLEAP page here, okay, you can see they have my courses. Okay, you can choose your courses over here. All right. You can choose your you can okay, you can sorry, over here you can choose your courses over here. Okay, and then you can you can see you have a support. Okay, support from here, and then exam. Okay, exam at the top of the eLEAP page. Okay, you can direct to the all eLEAP when you click vault over here. Okay, okay, this is eLEAP vault. All right, I back to the new eLEAP. All right, this is different, okay, compared to the old eLEAP, because we did not have a direct access to our blended achievement. All right, okay. Okay, actually I want to tell you about the eLEAP vaults, okay, because this is important for me to tell you about the all eLEAP. All right, because actually, what is eLEAP vaults? Okay, vaults is actually a chief of our all data on eLEAP. Okay, because most of us, I think, like to access our all eLEAP. Okay, because all our learning materials inside the all one that you still want to use, that you still want to refer that kind of document. All right, so you want to import. Okay, you want to import all the documents from that all eLEAP. or we call eLEAP Vault, kita panggil eLEAP Vault lah, okay? We call eLEAP Vault to our new eLEAP, right? So if you access to our eLEAP Vault, you can import all the data from here to our new eLEAP. This is our new eLEAP, all right? You can do that, okay? But if you want to access to your eLEAP Vault, okay, you have to request your access from the CAM office, all right? You have to request, you can email to the CAM office, right, through eleap@unimas.my, or you can call directly to the CAM office and ask for the access to the eLEAP Vault, okay? And then you can transfer or you can import all the data from the eLEAP Vault to the new eLEAP, all right? CAM office will give you username and password, the different password from your new eLEAP. But make sure you have to log in through admin and guest like this, okay? Admin and guest, you have to log in, okay? Okay, like this, okay? You have to admin through admin and guest, okay? But you have to get your username and password from the CAM office, okay? If you want to get the more information about the eLEAP Vault, I can share with you, but not in this session, all right? Okay, so, okay, can you see my slide? All right, so as you know, before this is our all eLEAP. This is before 2020, 2021, all right? At the right corner, okay, if you see here, okay, at the right corner, we have the blended box, all right? We have the blended box, or we can call as indicator box together, okay? Together with green box. We have green box over here, 3 green box, and we have 3 star, okay? We have 3 star, which means you have achieved your blended status, okay? Here is a fully blended status lah, because we already have 3 stars, okay, and we have already achieved a green box over here, okay? But for the new eLEAP, all right, for the new eLEAP, for the new eLEAP, for the new eLEAP, okay, but for the new eLEAP platform, this started from 2021. If you notice that we didn't have any boxes over here or any stars over here, any indicators anymore. All right? Okay. No box, no box, no stars. Okay. And then what we call the no indicator. Okay. No indicator to remind you what is your blended status. Okay. So this may cause you to wonder about your status or your achievement of your blended learning status. Okay. I already asked these questions to come. Okay. To come, and the answer is, if you want to know the blended learning status for your course, okay, you have to email them, or you have to count it by yourself, okay? Okay, if you email to CAM, they will inform you, they will calculate for you, okay? But for me, okay, better that we can do, or we do our own calculation to know what is your current blended status, okay? If you're not achieved yet, okay, so we can target what is our plan to achieve your blended status, okay? So here I will help you, okay, to how to calculate, okay, or how to remind yourself about your blended status, okay. In other hand, for me, this new interface for our new eLEAP actually encourage us or teach us how to calculate our own achievement. Maybe just to remember myself. I use my own formula. Okay, I always remember this 1730. Okay, 1732. Okay, the number for blended status. So what is actually 1732? All right. Okay, this is 1732. What is 1? What is 7? What is 3? And what is 2? 1732 IRACAS. Okay, IRACAS. IRACAS 1732. You just remember number of 1732. All right. Okay. So this is actually the criteria for blended learning. All right, how to achieve your blended status for your course. All right, so we move to the next part for today is blended criteria. All right, so this is the blended criteria for how you want to achieve your blended status. All right, IRACAS 1732. I for info, R for your resources, AC for your activities, AS for your assessment. All right. Okay. So you need one for your infos or your course info minimum. Okay. You will need one only course info for your to achieve your blended status. All right, to achieve your blended status. Oh, sorry. To achieve your blended status. All right. For info, this is including your course info, including your course outline, or maybe timetable, or maybe in introduction to your course. All right. This is you can put under course info. All right. Okay. The minimum is only one for course info. All right. So next R for resources. We need or blended learning status need. All right. 7 minimum criteria for resources. Okay, 7 minimum criteria for resources. All right. This can be your learning content. Okay, all topics of your course, all topics of your learning units, all right, your lecture notes, your slide notes, your web page, or maybe your reading materials, many more, okay? Or this maybe you can put your files over here, your folders, your notes, your URL link, or your videos, yeah, your videos, okay? Remind, this is only 7 minimum resources needed for your to achieve your blended status, okay? To achieve your blended status, all right? This is for resources, okay? Minimum 7, okay? I think you can achieve more than 7, all right? Okay, so next, AC for activities. 3 activities, okay? 3 activities. This can be your activities with your students, okay? Example activities with your student you can get from our eLEAP, okay? Our eLEAP internal tools, or you can get from external tools, okay? Examples of internal tool from eLEAP that you can use like forum. Okay, if you see here, okay, if you see here, okay, okay, this is all the activities in the eLEAP, okay? I mean, internal tool inside the eLEAP page, okay? You can use like choice, okay? All right, over here. You can choose like forum, okay? This is all internal tools in eLEAP, right? For your activities with your students, okay? You can choose journals. Where is journals? Journals over here, okay? You can choose game snakes over here, okay? You can choose e-voting over here. You can choose group self-selection, okay? You can choose mind map, you can choose questionnaire, survey. So you can choose Turnitin. Okay, like our session before, that Haslina already shared long about Turnitin assignment 2. You can choose Turnitin, okay, or you can choose peer assessment for your activities with your students. Okay, you only need 3 activities. Okay, you can choose which maybe you can choose choice. Okay, you can choose choice. We choose forum. Okay, and then we choose journals. Or you can choose, maybe you ask your student to make a group, a self-selection for the group assignment. Okay, so this is one activity for your students already. All right, or you can choose group choice. Okay, okay, so from there, okay, you already get 3 activities under blended. Okay, but you have to remember, okay, you have to remember all these activities, okay, all these activities, each activities need a response from the students, okay, need response from the students at least, okay, you have or you must to get a minimum 1 response for each activity, okay, for each activity. Contohnya, example like if you choose choice, okay, so at least ataupun minimum, okay, 1 students get response, give response to your choice. Ataupun if you make a group selections, if you make a group self-selection, of course lah, these group self-selections, they have to participate. Okay, they have to participate. All students have to participate. So more than 1 students. Okay, give feedback for your activity. Okay, so you have more than 3 activities already. All right. So this is all the activities that that you can choose for your activities with the students. Okay, at least 3 activities, but you can do more. All right. So the minimum will be 1 participant for each activity. So it's really important to you to have to remind your student to participate with your activity. Okay. So okay, I give example for my activity. Okay, this is example for my activity. My activity. You see my eLEAP, right? You see my eLEAP right now? Hello.
Yes, Dr. Adibah.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Atira. Okay. This is group choice. Where is the group choice? Where is the group choice? Class activity. Sorry, sorry. Melilau mencari. Okay, this is group self-selection for group assignment. This is one activity. This is from the internal tool. Okay, this is from the internal tool. This is a class activity from the external tool, okay, from the external tool. But you have to label it because you get it from the external tool, all right? This is Padlet, okay, Padlet activity with your students, okay. This is, okay, sorry. This is puzzle box, okay. This is the second activity 2, which your students, this I get from the external tool as well, all right, puzzle box. And we have a Mentimeter here, okay. This is another activity with your student I get from external tools, Mentimeter, all right. And this is, okay, sorry, okay. Okay, but you have to label it, okay, because you got from the external tool, okay, external tool out from eLEAP, all right. Okay, actually we have example 2 for students' activities, like I said before, we have internal tools, we have external tools, okay? Internal tools that we have in the eLEAP page, okay? And then I'll show you again the internal tool activities, all right? A lot of activities over here, a lot of game like crossword, game hangman, okay? Hidden pictures. If I'm not mistaken, we have hidden pictures. We have we have hidden pictures over here. Okay. We have snakes and ladders. We have snakes and ladders over here. In fact, there's a lot of game. Okay, but I have not tried all these game at all. Okay, adalah sikit-sikit. Okay, saya gunakan apart from outside tools. Okay, but if you don't want to choose the internal tool for your activities with your students, okay, you can use external tool for activity with your students, okay, like from Word World Games, okay, you can Google later, okay, Word World Games, okay, Word World Games, they have a lot of games over there, okay, or you can go to Maze Chase application, okay, Maze Chase application, okay, Maze Chase, okay. For me, Maze Chase is very interesting because I already tried several times and I would love to have a Maze Chase because it reminds me to do a Pac-Man game, okay, Pac-Man game gamifications in my class with my students. Remind me of my childhood game, okay. So yeah, in Maze Chase we also have a bingo game, word search. We have what we call Molly Black. Okay, you can search later. All right. Okay. So apart from that, we also have. I think you are familiar with Kahoot, Padlet, Flipgrid, Wix. Okay, but you have to remember that all external tools. Okay, all external tools that you use for your activities, okay, you use for your activity, you have to label them. You have to label them with the word activity. Okay, like this, with the words activity. Activity 3, activity 2, okay, activity 1. Okay, you have to label it as activity. Okay, so this is to ensure your activity be counted, okay, and easy for checking and verifications for your class activity. All right, you just to label it activity 1 or class activity 1, activity 2, activity 3. Okay, so later, if you still not achieve your blended status, maybe you can show, okay, your blended your eLEAP page, your course page to come and then make a verifications. Okay, so that is important for you to label it. Okay, label as activity 1, activity 2, activity 3. Okay, some like same like assessment 1, assessment 2, assessment 3. All right, so activity needs 3 activities at least. Okay, but you can do you can do more than that lah. All right. Okay. So we move to 1732 tadi. We have another 2. What is the number 2? The number 2 is for your assignment. Okay. We need 2 assignment only. Okay. We need 2 assignment only for you to achieve your blended status. Okay, your assignment with your students maybe can be graded or non-graded assessment. Okay, assignment. Okay, like this assignment you can use for your assignment. Okay, or you can use Turnitin assignment. Okay, or you can use quiz. Where is the quiz? Or you can use quiz for your assignment. All right. But you have to remember again. Okay. For your assignment, you must get minimum 3 submission. 3 submission for each assignment or 3 submission for each assessment. Okay, kalau nak buat semua assignment pun boleh, right? Maybe you gunakan to assignment, okay? To assignment, but your student must, okay, to give feedback ataupun to submit the assignment more than 3 submission. Of course lah, you student more than 3 kan. Okay. So I think this is, everyone is easy to achieve the minimum number of the submission. I think especially in the assessment involve marks, all right. Ialah group assessment, group assignment, individual assignment, all right. More than 3. Okay, more than 3, you can get more than 3. More than 2 assignment. All right. You can do more than that. Okay, so if you complete all the criteria for blended, 1732, 1 for info, 7 for your resources, okay, 7 for your resources, 3 for your activities, okay, 3 for your activities, minimum 1 response, okay, and 2 for your assessment, minimum 3 responses or submission for your assessment, each assessment, okay, for your each assessment, okay. So if you complete all the criteria, you will achieve your blended status for your course, all right. So congratulations, all right. So this is all the blended, how you achieve your blended status for your course. You just remember 1732, 1 for info, 7 for your resources, 3 for your activities, 2 for assessment. I think everyone can achieve this blended status. All right. Okay. So next, I want to move to part 3. Okay. Part 3, how to embed your external tools. Okay. Your external tools like your Padlet, like your YouTube, or Wix, or Flipgrid, all right, into your eLEAP page. Okay, into your eLEAP page. Okay, I will show you the demonstrations. Okay, nak buat sekali pun boleh. Alright, you can join me. How to embed your external tools, okay, your outside tools to your eLEAP page because you use your external tools, right? Okay, this is from all my Padlet. Okay, this is from my previous semester. Okay, this is all my Padlet. You embed the external tools Padlet. You embed to your eLEAP. Okay, this is your puzzle. You embed to your eLEAP, and this is your Mentimeter. You embed to your Padlet. To your eLEAP. All right. Okay. I want to show you how. I give you one examples. Padlet, because I think Padlet is familiar with everyone. Okay. So I open my Padlet first. Okay, this is my Padlet. This is my Padlet. Okay. Okay. This is my Padlet. Saya bagi contoh sajalah. Alright. Okay, you go to share at the right. Okay, dekat atas kali ni. Okay, you go to the Padlet first. Okay, after you done with your Padlet, okay, you done with your instruction, you done with your questions. Okay, and then you go to share. Okay, you go to share. Okay, and then you go to embed in your blog or your website. Okay, just click embed. Okay, just click embed. Okay, and then you copy. Okay, you click copy. Okay, directly. Okay. Then you back again to your eLEAP page. You dah copy tadi kan? You back again to your eLEAP page. Alright. So you back again to your eLEAP page. Lepas you copy from the Padlet. Alright. You add an activity. And then you pilih, you choose label. Choose label. Okay. Okay. And then you paste the link yang you dah copy tadi, the link that you copied from your Padlet. Sorry, you have to klik yang ini dulu. Ini yang button HTML yang ada dua button macam ni, like this HTML button. Ya, okay. Dekat hujung dia you paste yang klik yang apa tu, yang link tadi. Alright? Okay. And then save and return to course. Kita tengok balik. Ada tak dia keluar? Ni dia. Tada! Okay. Masuk sini dah. Alright? You already embed from the Padlet to your eLEAP page. Okay? To your eLEAP page. Okay? When you scroll it down, sama macam Padlet punya itulah, view lah. Okay? So if your student submit inside the Padlet, you can also can see the submission of your students, okay, in your eLEAP page. Okay, sama juga. Okay, apa yang kamu tengok dekat eLEAP, dekat Padlet, you can see dekat eLEAP jugalah. Alright. So you can try lah. Okay, you can see response from the student both from Padlet and eLEAP. Alright. Okay.
Dr. Adibah,
Yes.
is it possible for us to transfer this from the WhatsApp into activity at the WhatsApp into our eLEAP?
Because WhatsApp, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think so. I've not tried this before. Maybe I can try after this. I will let you know.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So you can transfer all the activities of your student from the external tools to your eLEAP page, like Multimedia that I said before. But the first thing you have to check whether either the settings in the application is already have amended for you to transfer from the external tools to the eLEAP page. All right. You just copy the embed link and then transfer to your copy and paste to your eLEAP page. All right. Okay. I already have, I think, around 12 minutes. So I think I have to, anything. So I have to move to our last part today. Okay, this is our last part, which is how to make your crossword puzzle. This is one of gamification that I think only one the gamification games that I can share with you because we have a limited time. All right. This is what we call crossword puzzle for your gamification class. All right. So the first thing, you have to type crosswordlab.com. Okay. You see my screen, right? My slide. Okay. HTTPS crosswordlab.com. Kalau nak buat terus pun boleh. Ni senang 5 minit saja boleh siap. Alright. Okay. Please type crosswordlabs.com or you can go to your Google and type the word crossword labs pun boleh. This is a free application you can use for your class. Alright. Okay. So this is, you can put your crossword puzzle title, maybe, okay. Okay, the easy thing, okay, fruits. Okay, fruits. Tiba-tiba lapar sama makan buah, alright. Okay, fruits, okay. So in the next box, in the below box, the first word is the answer, okay, the answer for your, the answer for your questions, okay? The answer for your questions, like maybe saya bagi contoh lah, okay? I give you example, maybe banana, okay? Banana. Oh, sorry. And then you have to space, okay? Space. Banana. Enter. In the first words, okay, banana is the answer for your questions, okay? then space, okay, then the clue or questions for your answer, okay, banana. The clue or answer for your question, you should start with a capital letter, okay, like this, yellow fruit, okay, lebih kurang lah, senang filter, alright, and then maybe apple, space, popular gadget, okay. This is the first word, your answer. Okay, diikuti or the next adalah your clue ataupun adalah soalan, your question for your answer. Alright. So the next maybe kita buat 5 lah, 4 ke 5. Grapes. Okay, grapes. Grape. Maybe grape purple. Or grey. Oh, sweet and sour. Senang fikir. And the last one, can you give me ada idea nak bagi apa? Oh, orange. Orange. Vitamin C, maybe? Okay. Okay, vitamin C. All right. So, after you complete, with your answer and your questions, okay, after you complete the answer and questions, okay, you just scroll below and you create your password. You create your password for your puzzle. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lebih kurang lah. But janganlah guna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can use the other password lah for your puzzle. Alright. And then, okay, after you setting your password, okay, you have to setting your privacy setting. Okay, you have to select your public. Okay, because this is free. Okay, this is to get this application for free. You have to select public. Right? Okay. Then you go to the left box. Okay. Then you just choose. Okay, which puzzle that you want to use for your puzzle. Okay. They have a lot of puzzle. Dia ada macam-macam rupa puzzle di sini. Alright. They already dah sediakan for you. They already make it for you. Okay. Fruits. Okay. Which puzzle yang you want to share with your student later. Okay. Okay. Maybe I want to choose this. Okay. This kind of design. This is design for your puzzle. Okay. A lot of design. Okay. You can see here a lot of design for your puzzle. Okay. Okay. So maybe I want to choose for this design for my puzzle. You have to save. Okay. The red box. Save and finish. Save and finish. Ta-da! Okay. Your puzzle is already here. Okay. 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 So the last part, how you can share this puzzle with your students. How you can share this puzzle with your student. You can use a various method. Okay. Various ways to share this puzzle for your students. Okay. Either you can share directly from this page. Okay. Share. Just tekan share ke atas. Okay. Just click share. Okay. Share directly from this page. Share. Okay. You can copy URL. You can embed code. You can embed tadi macam tadi kan. I told you before. So you can embed to your eLEAP page. Macam yang saya buat tadi, tu ada puzzle tadi kan. Okay. You can copy and then you embed to your eLEAP page. Or, okay, if you don't want to share directly from this page, you can save. Okay, you can save. Just click Word or PDF version. Okay. Klik yang dekat print ni. Okay. You can see the right click. Okay. Click Word or PDF versions. Then nanti dia akan keluar lah. Okay. So then you can save. Okay. You can save in PDF. mode or in words. Okay, and then you can share with your students. Okay.
Thank you so much, Dr. Adibah, for the interesting presentation. So today I learned how to use this puzzle, right? All right. Now, Dr. Adibah mentions just now that in order to get our so-called your course, your eLEAP to be blended, and I realized that most of other colleagues here who fail to achieve the blended status is mainly because the lack of the activities, the
Yes.
3 activities there.
Yes.
So like Dr. Adibah mentioned, in order to, allow the campsite to blend you, make sure in your activity there you put activity, the word
Yeah, you have to label.
activity, then followed by whatever names that you want to give to that activity.
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
easy for them to depict that.
Yes.
Sometimes your quiz could be under activity, it could be under assessment as well,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
And
is
that
true.
now I would like to, Prof. Nelson is here, right? So I would like to call upon Prof. Nelson to say a few words. And then we have lucky draw, yeah? Okay, please, Prof.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Goy. A very good morning to all of you. Timbalan Dekan, Dr. Kam, I think is around. Prof. Dato sudah keluar kan? And all my colleague lah.
Prof.
Masih lagi ya? Okay. Good morning everyone.
Morning.
Uh,
Morning.
Okay, I was asked to give the opening remarks, but we have another meeting concurrently. I just presented a paper for our faculty, so my apologies. So I've been away for quite a while. So, okay, firstly, I would like to say thank you to Dr. Goy, the coordinator for our blended learning activities at the courses at the faculty, and also the 2 speakers. I think Dr. Haslina and Dr. Adibah for the well done lah. Satu pembentangan yang sangat menarik. So I used to mention in the faculty meeting a few years ago that blended learning is high in the agenda of the university, and it continues to be so. So as I mentioned during one of the meetings that for you to get blended, to be blended is one of the syarat for the promotion. I'm not sure about going to 52, but if you go to associate professor dan juga full professor, dia ada ruangan khas. So dia kata blended since 2016 di situ, sebab pada masa itulah blended learning ini dimasukkan dalam kriteria untuk promotion dan sebagainya. So it remains high in the agenda, and apa yang kita lakukan pada suatu ketika dahulu ataupun sejak beberapa tahun, if you look at the record that we had at the faculty, for example in 2017, 2018, 2019, kalau you pergi pejabat dekan tu ada 3 sijil di sana, sijil eLEAP. Di situ kita pernah di kalangan orang yang tertinggi dan yang terbaik dalam pengajaran secara blended learning ini. Jadi kita melihat bahawa ia adalah sesuatu yang kita boleh lakukan tanpa banyak penglibatan daripada luar. We just try to get lakukan aktiviti seperti mana yang telah diceritakan oleh kedua-dua penceramah tadi, just to get blended lah untuk secara minimal saja. Cukup saya rasa lah for the time being. Bagi yang lebih kreatif, yang mempunyai banyak aktiviti dan sebagainya, mereka boleh melakukan lebih banyak lagi aktiviti dengan pelajar lah. So I think during our last management meeting we have agreed that we try our best to get 100% blended this semester. Jadi ini adalah satu tanggungjawab yang berat juga untuk Dr. Goy dan juga for the 2 speakers. I think you can assist us to ensure that all the courses that we have will be blended. So I had a discussion with Dr. Goy this morning, and then we will monitor the progress of each lecturer as far as blended learning is concerned. Maybe our first meeting will be around during your mid semester. or after the mid-semester. Kita nak tahu how blended you are by then. Dan selepas tu kita akan monitor lagi pada penghujung semester. So mungkin this time round we will truly assist you to get to the minimum of being blended. Misalnya quiz tadi. Mungkin Dr. Adibah boleh bantu untuk develop quizzes untuk pensyarah-pensyarah yang like I myself, I always need the help of people like Dr. Kamsia, Dr. Regina, and a few others who are very good in buat activities seperti ini. I heard that Prof. Dato is one of the pakar dalam bidang ini buat activity. Betul lah, Dato? Ya.
Boleh juga lah.
Oh, boleh I see. Yeah. We were at one time very reluctant about blending, about all this blended learning, even outcome-based education. Tetapi nampaknya kita tiada pilihan. We have to move forward, and that is the way forward. If we don't change, kita we are not going to be relevant anymore. So once you are not relevant, as they said, the organization, the faculty, the university may not need you or may replace you with somebody else. Itulah pentingnya kita berubah ataupun being relevant to the current situation. So the high percentage that we had achieved for the past 3 years, 2017, 18, and 19, I think shows that kita boleh melakukan perkara tersebut sekali lagi lah. Buat kejutan ke apakah. So it is good. It's not much of our KPI. KPI is one thing, but at the moment, people measure our excellence. One of the tools for measuring our excellence in teaching and learning is our capability and also our ability to blend both a conventional approach and also using the technology like what we're having now. I think because we went blended for quite some time, that's why we didn't really feel the impact of this online learning when COVID affected everybody, because everything is already in place. For example, nota kita, our activities and discussion with our student. So it has been in place. Dan bayangkan kalau kita tidak mempunyai ciri-ciri ODL seperti itu, mungkin susah untuk kita beroperasi semasa COVID. So saya percaya this semester we can we still can do our best, and then we try our best to meet that 100% blended, and then kita akan monitor the team, Dr. Goy and whoever are the experts ataupun yang lebih mahir daripada yang lain akan membantu yang belum mahir lagi. So I think once again, thank you very much Dr. Goy for this great effort. Not to say awareness, tapi dia macam to refresh kita punya faculty members on the importance of untuk terus blended every semester. And hello to the two speakers. They are very good. I think they have been trained and all this thing. Some of the points that the rest are a bit too advanced for me. Bagi saya, honestly, I just did the minimal. 3 activities saya kan, Dr. Goy?
Yes.
So I just did that. But of course, as a semester goes on, akan datang, saya akan cuba tambah lagi lah activity, because the students are very, very interested. After all, we don't need any, full attendance for them to, full participation. Just, half or 70% of our class took part in our activities, then taking part, then it should be okay. So sekali lagi saya ucapkan tahniah lah kepada Dr. Goy dan juga kepada kawan-kawan peserta workshop ini. Thank you very much for your time, and then we can do it. We try our best. So thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, Prof. And thank you so much for our colleagues to take part in today's activity. And we have like 20 participants. 20 participants,
20,
and we have like around 18 to 20 from the students, undergrads, and few postgraduate students. Now, before we end the session, I'd like to call our dean to draw a lucky draw. And this lucky draw is only for colleagues only, academicians.
I see.
One only. One lucky draw only. Can you all please turn on your camera so that I can take the picture? Please turn on the camera. Thank you.
Dr. Juna, you punya kamera tinggi sangat itu.
Oh ya,
turun sikit. Okay.
All right.
So you want me to
Ready?
do the lucky draw? Ambil berapa ni? Satu
Yes.
kah? So
Yes.
Dr. Goy gave me this, dia sudah lipat-lipat ini nombor sini. So I didn't do this, tapi dia suruh saya cabut sajalah. Cabut satu, then I will read out the number, right, Dr. Goy?
The name.
Oh, the names.
The
See,
name.
see. Okay, I try to be as transparent as possible. Jadi saya tidak tahulah apa-apa yang ditulis itu. Alright. Only one, Dr. Goy?
Yes.
Wah, this fellow must be very lucky. Dr. Haslina Hashim. Ini nama dia. Boleh tengok? Betul ke ini?
Yeah, okay.
Alright.
But Haslina, she said this is a CRM now, the workshop.
Yes. We have
Right.
one, workshop is going on now.
With that, today's workshop is end. And thank you so much for your time and participation. See you.